Morning and welcome to the Geelong Cricket Show on this lovely Saturday morning. It's been a wonderful week. We're in the Hawaiian shirt this morning. Encouraged the sun out after a great week of weather. And of course this morning and today, the cricket gets underway against in Geelong. And joining him at the table on the knowledge, the man who walks, talks and writes, Bellarine Peninsula Cricket Association, and he knows all about it too. Very good morning to Tim Mitchell.
Yeah, good morning to you, Graham, and good morning to all the viewers again as well. I'm expecting this weekend, after all the high scores that we saw last weekend, two fantastic double centuries, one unbeaten to Jason Murray in GCA Division 3 and one to Liam Buchanan that we'll have a chat about a little bit later in our Premier Cricket chat. I'm expecting the bowlers to be looking to get one back, a little bit of retribution this weekend, Graham, and wouldn't be surprised if there was a few low scores around the region after the high scores that we saw last week.
And talking about bowlers who would enjoy a bit of retribution, if he was at the crease, I'm sure he would today. It's a very warm welcome to East Belmont's great, and he writes for the local Geelong Independent, Sir James Timberlake, better known to us as Big Jim. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Riley. Thanks for having me.
How's the back, my friend?
It hasn't been too good, actually. I broke down in the grand final last year in the seconds, and tried to get it right through the winter, but it hasn't come good. So sitting out for the time being, and we'll see if we can get it right.
Well, let's hope you get it right. You're certainly getting it right in the newspapers, and we really enjoy reading your column on a weekly basis on the Geelong Cricket Association and anything that matters. Turning our attention to the world of Premier Cricket, and it was certainly Premier Cricket down at the Geelong Cricket Ground last week, as we see some footage here of a masterly double century that was put together by Liam Buchanan. Geelong resumed overnight at 1 for 6. They went to 2 for 59 when Andre Borovic was dismissed, but then they finished at 4 for 357, with Liam Buchanan making his highest ever Premier score, 245, which bettered his 239 he made for Melbourne back in 02-03, and it bettered the Geelong Cricket Club highest score record, which was set by Clinton Peake of 171 not out. Tim Mitchell, it was an absolute joy to see. It included 31 boundaries, fours and 6 sixes, 160 runs coming from the boundaries, and a very, very disciplined innings and a great win to Geelong.
Yeah, I think that was the one thing that really stood out about Liam's innings on the weekend. We all know how hard he can hit a ball and that he's a fantastic attacking batsman, but the fact he actually held himself back a little bit, did a job for the Cats and got them over the line on the weekend. Yes, he did set some records, and the innings will be remembered for the fact that it is record-breaking, and who knows how long it'll be before we see a Geelong batsman break that record in the first 11, but I think that'll be remembered for the fact that it set the Cats onto the way to a win, and I think they're a very good chance to replicate that when they take on North Melbourne over the next 2 weekends as well.
Jim, Liam Buchanan's been a bit of a nemesis down at Geelong. He's been a wonderful player and certainly played his, one of the most disciplined innings I've seen him play. And North Melbourne could be in for a real battle over the next 2 Saturdays, again playing down at Geelong Cricket Ground.
Oh, definitely. I think if you had asked many local cricket experts who was the favourite to knock off Clinton Peake's high score down at Geelong, I think quite a lot of people would have thrown up Liam Buchanan's name. Well,
North Melbourne, they're sitting down the bottom of the ladder. They've got a couple of good batsmen, Sal Pietro, Trevelyan and Hillis, their captain. With the ball, they've got Havartan and Mansa. But I don't really see that the North Melbourne Cricket Club are going to be able to answer against the Geelong batsmen, particularly those that are led by Buchanan, Peake, Shanahan, Harrison and Finch. It'll be interesting to see how the selection goes, Tim.
Yeah, it certainly will be, and interesting to see if Aaron Finch comes back to action. Obviously batted so fantastically for Victoria to lead them to victory, chasing 300 against Tasmania only a week or so ago now, and wasn't it fantastic to see him do the job for Victoria, Graham? But as you say, there's a plethora of talent in that batting lineup for the Cats, and you just can't see a way through for bottom place North Melbourne at the moment. It'd be a huge upset if they did spring a surprise, but I think it's a time of the season where the Cats can build a little bit of momentum going into Christmas, claim a few victories, and then come out red hot after Christmas if they can do that.
4 wins to the 4-11s on Saturday against Casey South Melbourne, and another 4 wins to the 4-11s against Hawthorn Monash University in the 2020 competition. And the highlight of Sunday, Dan Shupin, the new recruit to Geelong, he bowled 3 balls and took 3 for none. Hat-trick. Congratulations, Dan, as Geelong sit on top of the club championship in the 2020 comp. Let's turn our attention to the Bellarine Peninsula Cricket Association, and in the match of the round in A grade, Port Arlington and Janjak. We predicted this as being the match of the round, Tim Mitchell. Port Arlington, 104. Jen Jack resume at 3 for 44. Can the Jen Jackians get an extra 61 runs for victory?
I think there's not really any excuses for Jan Jack if they don't. Yes, Ian Ligo's not in their side, which was a surprising one to see him playing B grade. Not too sure whether he's unavailable this week, but he did get 80, so it would have been a real surprise if Jan Jack had dropped him. But even being 3 down for only 40 odd and needing about 60 runs, you'd expect with Craig Lucas still at the crease and also Aaron Muncie, who's made a lot of runs for Jan Jack to this stage, that I think they should be good enough. There's a little bit of batting depth as well in that Jan Jack side. I think they will get over the line. But chatting to Port Arlington coach Damien Vassalou a little bit earlier in the week, he did say that he thought Paul McGrath, who claimed 9 for 19 against Jan Jack, had a little bit of a psychological edge over the Sharks. So we'll wait and see if that eventuates today, and maybe Pudgy McGrath can pick up a few more and lead Port Arlington to what seems to be a very unlikely victory.
And Barrabool got the chase ahead of him as they chased last season's runners-ups, Colindina's 260.
Yeah, they certainly are setting the pace, Colindina, batting fantastically, and it was really good to see a young guy that I actually coached in the under-15 Ballerine rep side, Andy Higgins, step up, and in his first A-grade game made 30. He's a guy that we're going to hear a lot more about over the next few seasons, but I think it's all looking up for Colindina at the moment, playing fantastically, and they're looking like getting another win there at home against Barrabool.
The Cooters struggled against the bowling of Bitterscombe and Mallet to be all out for 152. Bowen Heads, the reigning premiers, resume at no wicket for 8, and with Mallet at the wicket, should be on their way to another win.
They should be. There's really no excuses for Barnheads if they don't win this one. They were chasing a similar total against Colindina, and didn't actually get there. So Queenscliff might take some confidence from that, but really Barnheads will still be stinging from that loss to Colindina, and I can't see their batsmen giving up the total after the bowlers. And Craig Bitterscombe, who just came back into form fantastically with the 5 for 21, I can't see the batsmen giving it up and not getting the points this weekend down at Queenscliff.
The bouncing Kangaroos, Venables 116, saw them score 8 for 262. Ocean Grove, the Grubbers, a long chase ahead of them.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be. And with the Moisley-Anglesey attack, they have only conceded over 150 once, and that was about 152 that they conceded against Barnhead. So I can't see Ocean Grove getting close in that one. I was really happy to see Brett Venables, a guy that I've played a lot of cricket against, get his first century for the club as well. And I think that's going to be the key for Anglesey. If they can get runs throughout the season, they've got a bowling attack that'll bowl them into the top 6. And at the moment, they're sitting nice and pretty in the top 4.
And another century to Brady from Drysdale as they scored 9 for 259. The Wallington Wallies, they'll chase them and find it very hard.
Yeah, I can't see them getting over the line either. It's certainly Drysdale and Colindina after the first few rounds, obviously halfway through round 4 in the BPCA, and they're the two sides setting the tone at the moment. Graham, all the sides looking to chase those, but it's looking like a very competitive season ahead of us down on the Ballerine.
Runs aplenty last Saturday. Will they continue today, or will it be the bowler's day? Congratulations again to Liam Buchanan for his magnificent knock of 245 last week. It was a joy to see. May the runs continue. We'll take a break on the Geelong Cricket Show and be back with more after this.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're